A week after the big one at the Turpentine Racecourse, so that is the 2024 Betway Summer Cup. We're now looking to the Western Coast, the Western Cape rather, the coast, and it is Grade 1 Guineas time on a Saturday. That'll be a double header with what should be an exciting twilight meeting coming through from Turpentine Racecourse. 9 races as of 3:05. We'll be talking about that as we progress through to that big day on Saturday. All right, so we're talking about racing coming through from the fairest Eastern Cape. That is, of course, Gqeberha. We're racing in Port Elizabeth and we're on the polytrack. We have a feature on the polytrack, and that will be the Founders coming up a bit later on. That is the Founders Trophy, one of the oldest features on the program in the Eastern Cape. All right, it is a great pleasure to be with Nino Podesta once again. He's standing by with all our tips. We've got a Bipot starting in race number 1. 12:30 is the off time of that first of 8, and it's a good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Cecil.
Thank you so much. How have you been? And I hope you've been making people rich.
No, unfortunately not. But hopefully my luck will change with you back in the show.
Well, let's get straight to it. It's a Bipot time with an open-looking race, number 172, about the pair, One Man of Courage and the back, number 4, World Soprano. And then there's been a nibble at the 11 Million Reasons. That is Kelly Mitchley and Eldon Webber. That is at 15-4, 11-2, and better bar those. Looks rather more open than that. How many horses are you putting in the first leg of your Bipot, Mr. Podesta?
I'm putting 4 in. I do believe that those 3 that you've just mentioned are the right ones, but I do respect number 3, Decree, that brings some good Cape Town form. Just a bit concerned about the draw, drawn 12, but I think Marco van Rensburg, who rode World Soprano last time, gets on to this one. So I've gone 1, 3, 4, and 11 in the Bipot.
1, 3, 4, and 11. And if that doesn't see us through, then it's really going to be a tough, long day ahead. 16 Rand is the outlay to the Bipot. 12:30 is the off time of that first of 8. Well, we are racing on the polytrack for Friday's the meeting, the opener to a bumper weekend of racing, which will conclude with the racing in KZN at Hollywood Bets Scottsville. Back to the today, and it is racing in Gqeberha Fairview Polytrack. Race number 2 is off at 1:05, and that'll see the start of the PA. And we have a short price favorite in the form of number 7, Sikadaide, and that is at 6-10. Looking at the likely rivals, and there don't seem to be many. 22-10 is Lady Silvano, and thereafter it's 11-2. About the one medalist starts 13-1 and better bar those. Well, the last time Sikadaide won, it ran in an average rating 65, and in race number 2 today runs against some hard knockers in an average rated field of 87. Why so short, Nino?
Yeah, she is a bit short, but she was very impressive last time, Cecil. And with a nice galloping weight of 54 kilograms, gained over the extra 100 meters, I don't see a problem. And I think that she's a horse to beat. The only danger is Lady Silvana, that ran in a much stronger race last time. She ran third to Red Sash, and just in front of her was, I believe, the filly of the year in PE, Joy and Peace. So that was a strong race. But I still believe that Chica D-Day is the horse to beat with Richard Footy up.
Okay, well, he started off with a bang last week, I believe. The first 5 were all annexed by Richard. Hopefully his supporters can get more joy. It is a bank at the 7, Sikadaide, and a few more bankers in legs 3, 4, and 5 in that place. Accumulator, again, a very inexpensive outlay of just 48 Rand to Nino's PA. 1:05 is the off time to race number 2. Okay, so the PSL is back in action this weekend. That is a Betway PSL. Well, Pirates had a chance to go back to the top, but did they choke, or it was just a bad day at the office? Well, I think this weekend, somewhere along the line, there is going to be a chance to get a bit of a reprieve. We do know that the powerhouse, once known as Chiefs, is in action tonight. That is the Betway PSL. Right, let's get into our pick six, and that starts in race number 3. We're off at 20-2, and it is an open maiden plate, one of a couple of open maiden plates. This one is over the 2,200 meters, tight in the betting. The 2 home reef is now shortened into 22-10. 28-10 is the one. He's a goal. The 5 Angel of My Heart is a 3-1. And then the 8 Fire Festival is at 33-10. So as you can see, very tight at the top. And then there's been a nibble at the 4 Fearless Badger, who's now out in to 8-1. All right, so tight at the top in the betting for race and number 3, an open maiden, Mr. Podesta. It's over the 2,200 meters. Where are your loyalties, if there are any? I know you're going a bit wide in the opening leg of your pick 6.
Yes, Cecil. Look, there's nothing between one. He's a goal and number 2 home reef on the last run beyond take your time. But gain the extra 300 meters, and with Richard Fourie, I have to be in the camp of home reef. And if you look at number 5, Angel of My Heart, beyond Crimson Comet, he's a gold stone cold. So 2 to beat 5. Then obviously number 1 and 8. Have got chances, and the only other one that's got a bit of a chance is number 4 Fearless Badger, but I think 1, 2, 5 and 8 will be enough for the PA and the Bipots.
Yeah, and I see you haven't really spent too much on your outlays today in the exotics. You've got 3 bankers in leg 2 to race 4. You've got the 3 All About Love. In leg number 3, that is the 1, and that would be 3 Rocks. Looks an obvious standout. And your old favorite, USA's Hope, is in race 6, and that is your 3rd banker. Outlay of 96 Rand. Race 3 is off at 22-2. As mentioned, we've got a couple of open maidens, or several open maidens, and this is another one. This one is over the shorter trip of 1,600 meters. And in a race number 4, let us have a look if the betting is anywhere as tight as the preceding race. Not at all. It is 15-20 and finding constant support. One of the bankers in Nino's pick 6, and that is the 3 All About Love in the colors of Mr. Nick Johnson. 1 run on the poly after having its first run on the turf. This is only a lightly raced 4-run, four-time race. The 3-year-old son of Trippy, Richard Fourie, gets aboard, and the blinkers will be retained. And that is at 15-20. The 6 Gentile, 15-4. The 2 Jovial also been nibbled at into 7-1, 19-2, and better bar those. Nina, obviously you were impressed enough by that first run on the poly by the Nick Johnson owned a 3-year-old son of Trippy to banker it in your pick 6, and I think it's banker in most of your bets.
Yes, Cecil, I think she's taken on with all due respect to the balance of the runners. It's a moderate field, and I'll be very, very disappointed if All About Love gets beat. The Justin Snaith Raider here, I just cannot see how she can get beat, and a very confident selection and a confident banker in all bets.
Now, you've given us 2 bets. You've given us a pick 3, and we're going to have a look at your first jackpot selection, as was the case in the pick 6. Banker the 3, banker the 1, banker the 2, and those are the 3. They're straight line pick 3. And likewise, first 3 legs are bankers, and then you go wide in leg number 4, which would be race number 7. A mention of just a couple of numbers there, 6 being one of those that is omitted. And let's hope that it's not one of those fateful ones that comes through and bites us. But I think we should be through in that first jackpot. That's Nino's suggestions for race 4, pick 3, and a jackpot. We now get into the second half of our 8-race program at Fairview. We're on the polytrack as we make our Friday usual trip out to Tutkabecha, and in race number 5, let's have a look if the betting is as skinny as it was in the preceding race, and I dare say it is even not as skinny as I thought it would be. 19-20 about what is a very consistent newly turned 4-year-old filly, and that is 3 Rocks in the colors of the ASSM. Richard Fourie gets a ride once again. He's aboard. He's been aboard 12 times and only ever missed out on 1 stake check. Is at 19-20. Eleorix number 6, also in the silks of the ASSM, is at 15-4. 6-1 is a 2. Paris Lass, the 1, Gimme's Lassie, is at 13-2, 17-2, and better bar those. Well, no secret, You do not wish to know about anything beating 3 Rocks. I can just confirm that the 5 Flower Bomb has recently been scratched, and that leaves us with 9 runners, Mr. Podesta.
Exactly, Cecil. Under the conditions and the weight, 3 Rocks should resume winning ways today. She's the best weighted by far. Last time out, she gave weight all around. As you can see, she's 5.5 kilos better off with Ellerix. She's 8.5 kilos better with Symbol of Love. So under these conditions, I think she's going to be very, very hard to beat. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Richard ride the first 5 winners again, as he did last week. But a very confident selection, 3 Rocks, to resume winning ways.
Now, Gibby's Lassie, give it a chance at earning a small minor stake, check it off.
I give Miss Lass a chance. I do also give Paris Lass a bit of a chance, as with Ellerix.
Thank you so much. But 3 Rocks looks to be the one to beat. Numbers say so, the stats say so, and the weights suggest that as well. That is the second jackpot from Nino, and he's got the 4 runners at the back in race 8, 1, 3, 5, and 8, but the same formula to that preceding jackpot and the suggested pick 3 in race number 4. Right, last chance to get involved in a pick 3 this afternoon in Quebec with the running of race number 6, and we have yet another odds-on favourite, not ridden by Mr. Fourie this time, but by Craig Zaki for the equally powerful stable of Gavin Smith, and that is the USA's Hope. A second run in the province. First run was a very promising run that was on the potty and is at 8 to 10 as a result. 4 to 1 is a 6 whatever next. Number 5, Franz Lear, is at 5 to 1, is 15 to 2, and better bar those. So it is seemingly these colours that seem to thrive as some of the horses that they send out to Port Elizabeth are seemingly proven to do well on the polytrack, and the latest is USA's Hope, Mr. Podesta.
Yeah, the Kaya stable you're talking about. And
yes, sir.
Zaki's coming down to ride it again.
Yeah.
How impressive was she with the blinkers? They put the blinkers on over 1,100 meters, which I did label it last time, but I would have preferred it over 12, and that's exactly what she's getting today. And this is my best bet on the card, Cecil. I was very, very impressed with the way she won over a distance a little bit short of its best. The only danger has to be whatever next. 4 kilos better off for a 4-length beating, but still on paper, I don't think it's enough to beat USA's Hope. I think she's going to get even better after that run in PE, and my best bet on the card.
Okay, best bet on the card, and that is race 6, number 2, USA's Hope. Up next, and that will be the big feature of the afternoon of the long-established Founders Trophy. All right, so we did allude to the big one of the afternoon. It is the 2024 renewal of the Founders Trophy. It's over the mile, race number 7. And having a look at the betting, you've got your recent Algoa Cup winner facing up in the Algoa in the Founders Trophy. But the favourite is the Raider in the colours of Mr. Nick Johnson, and that is a 1 Silver Falcon at 3 to 1, 15 to 4. Is the 5 Blackberry Malt. Number 7 East Coast in the colours of Mike de Kock, recently relocated and is now trained by Alan Greef, is at 5 to 1. 2 Fire Rally, that is your recent Algoa Cup winner, 17 to 2. 3 Bush Tracker has been nibbled into 9 to 1. All right, so where are we going? A few relocatees. Street Art will be having that third run in the province and a second run on the poly track. You've got East Coast, recently relocated to the Alan Greef stable. Still races in the colours of Mike and Fire Rally after that successful transition, eventually won the Algoa Cup. What is your first choice?
My first choice
is
number 5, Blackberry Malt. That's my first choice in the race. And I would like to ask you about East Coast. Do you think she can come out and beat this field first time on the poly?
You know, on ability, she has got the ability to come and beat this field, but somehow has never quite lived up to all the expectation that Mike and all the people around him have had for this horse. Hence, he's kept the horse even in his own colours, even sending it to PE still under his ownership. He's always held the horse in high regard, so maybe a change of scenery and you could see a horse thrive at a weaker centre.
And also these United States, they seem to love the Polly as well.
I was
And
thinking that earlier on when I was looking at a favorite in one of our earlier races, saying the United States certainly seem to do well. USA's Hope is the United States as well, isn't it?
yes, it is.
You're
And
right.
also well drawn with Richard Up. You can't leave it out. But my first choice is obviously Blackberry Malt, and I have big respect for Silver Falcon. I just believe that Glenn Cotson uh, picks his races better, and that Justin Snaith's horses run better on the turf. As he always said, he doesn't like running his horses on the poly, but the fact that he has centered down on the poly, you've got to respect it. Fire Alley won the Algoa Cup over 2,000 last time. Maybe the 1,600 too short. I don't think so, because this horse, if you go back in his career, it actually won over 1,200 meters at Kenilworth a couple of years ago. So that's got to be a danger. Boost Tracker is an expert over 1,600, a specialist. That could cause an upset. And the Mauritian is unbeaten over 1,600. So, look, it's either Blackberry Malt and Silver Falcon. If those two fluff the lines, then you've got to look at Fire Alley, Bush Tracker, East Coast, and the Mauritian.
Thank you for that sagacious advice there, Mr. Podesta. But it is a 3 and a 5. 1 and 5 rather. That is a Silver Falcon and a Blackberry Malt, respectively. That should fight out the finish to the feature on the afternoon, the Founders Trophy. We now head to the conclusive stages of our Waited to Win, looking ahead to racing coming through from Fairview on this beautiful Friday. And that is, of course, the 6th of December 2024. Where the months went, only goodness knows. But this is proudly brought to you by Betway, and they've been with us all the way, every hour and every day of 2024. And long may it continue. Now, Nino Podesta, we've got a scratching in race number 8. Flash Lightning, that is a 4 out of race 8. This is the next Fairview race meeting Friday, a date that is not doesn't resonate well with me. Friday the 13th December, Mary traded 66. As I mentioned, the 4 is out. The 8, Master Forester, that is your favorite at 3 to 1. The 5, Mr. Maloney, 7 to 2. The 3, Union Rose, 15 to 2. The 7, James James, that is at 9 to 2. 11 to 2. About the 10, Arevadithio. Thereafter, it's 11 to 1 and a bet about those. Now, make a suggested bet for us. Get out of it stakes, because tomorrow we don't want to be short of funds as we look to Twilight Racing at Turpentine. And of course, the fillies, guineas, and it's really going to be catching up and picking up action as we head to the male guineas next weekend, Saturday, 14th of December. So let's talk about race 8, Fairview.
Okay, race 8. Now we've got Master Forester, who was doing his best work late, and on breeding, I think he's going to love the step up to the 1,600 meters. And he's also got a jockey up from Charles and Glover, with all due respect to him, to Richard Fourie, the champion jockey. He's drawn 11 again, but he was drawn 12 out of 14 last time, over 1,300. So I think he'll overcome the draw. But then you look at Mr. Maloney, who beat Union Rose 2 runs back, and is 1.5 kilos better off. So he should still have the beating of Union Rose. I do believe it's a race in 3 between Union Rose, Mr. Maloney, and Master Forester. I wouldn't be able to pick a first choice. I think all 3 have to be respected and have to go into all bets. After that, I think a horse like Fujitsani and James Fitzjames could be there in the mix. So my suggestion is a quartet, Roving Bankers 3, 5, and 8 with 1 and 7.
All right, 3, 5, and 8. That is the Roving Bankers for the quartet, and I see the exact box there. 1, 3, 5, and 8. Thank you very much, Nino. Enjoy Friday. Start off a great weekend, and we look forward to talking to you soon. And happy punting to you.